Welcome to the wonderful world of Richter Fowl. How are you guys? Middle of the week? How fares? Wait, I'm a little on the high side. Give me a minute. Give me a minute to fix it. Where are we at? No, oh no, that does not do that. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. Hi. Hello. How are you doing? Whew. Damn. So, hello, bitrate being a bit of a butt. Try to check into it, yes. Let's see. Okay, suggestion, current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. What? Higher than recommended. We got smooth. We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 4500 kbps. But higher is bigger number is better, isn't it? Come on. You guys, YouTube recommended this high enough of a bitrate, this recommendation thingy I followed. The nine hells is going on? Why am I being lied to? Huh? Why? Well, welcome. Okay, let me just move this window here. Welcome to the stream, Eve, Scarlet, and Nana. Welcome. Hello. Welcome. All right. So, I'll be honest. I was not quite feeling Zelda today for a couple of reasons. All right, I'm going to try adjusting the bitrate. Alright, I'm gonna set it to the same bitrate that Twitch has it at. It seems I can change the bitrate on the fly. The welcome, I mean, I don't know. Perhaps you met a rather unhinged gentleman in the past, Nana. But, yes, big round butts. Let us return to the matter at hand. How are you guys? You doing all right over there on your respective parts of the world? Have you all been hydrating, drinking your water, eating your meals on time, getting your sleep? Have you all been getting a good night's sleep? Waiting for foods and getting ready for stream. Ah, good to hear. Okay, internet is being an absolute ass butt again. And I don't like that. It is not being steady. But let me see what YouTube says. Stream's bitrate 18,000 is higher than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use. I did. I changed it in OBS. Okay? Are you not happy, YouTube? And you OBS, why are you still trying to stream at 18? 18 isn't going to make you any more legal, OBS. What's the agenda for today? Okay, so I'm gonna be engaging in some mental exercises with you guys. And we are gonna be creating characters for one of my favorite all-time tabletop RPGs. That is Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I remember not everybody in chat has had the opportunity to play D&D for a plethora of different reasons. And so I would like to share that with everybody today. And I will go through the process of character creation. Now, what I might do, what my process is going to be for this, is that at the beginning, I'll go through like some basic steps of character creation in general. And then maybe we'll go through a couple of exercises, try different concepts, maybe even use you guys as inspiration for D&D characters. Now, of course, that said, not everybody is going to be able to translate one-to-one into, let's say, a D&D campaign, right? So what we'll do is maybe we can make some approximations, or I'll ask you guys in chat, you know, what kind of characters would you like to see? All right, give me like a, we'll go with like a name out of a hat kind of situation where you guys can give me something to go off of, and then let's go ahead and try to create a character from that idea. Sounds fine? Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna be, you know, talking through my own process of what characters I'd like to see, what kind of specific character concepts, race and class maybe ideas or whatever, and we can see where we go from there. So that does necessitate that I find myself in a specific window. So I haven't quite set that up, but I will. All right. I probably should get water in a little bit, but I will soon. Just give me a moment. Let's see then. We'll do that. We'll minimize this, and we'll use the game screen, and we will use D&D Beyond as our creator of choice, because it kind of has a very convenient way of letting you do that. So let me just let me take a moment to set it up. But in the meantime, you guys can start putting up ideas of characters that maybe you'd like to see. Character ideas, if you want to try like a race class combination, if that's already something you have in mind, we can do that. So just kind of spitballing ideas here while I set up. And let's go ahead and find out how things are gonna go. I think the internet is kind of being a little bit of an ass bite, given that some websites are loading rather slowly. Oh god, what happened? Why did it drop? Why did my stream suddenly drop to 2,000? Why? Okay, I'm gonna do something again. Give me a minute. The stability of the connection isn't great. Why is that? Okay. It looks like it's another one of those days. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to reconnect and see if, you know, we can make it happen, yeah? Give me a minute. And I will kill OBS and start it up again. Where is OBS? Here we go. And we'll be back in just... Okay. I should be back. Hello, Fexa. Welcome, welcome. It says stream is healthy now over on YouTube side. But my OBS is still looking pretty funky. And why? Why is my internet being like this today? What sin have I committed against the gods that they would apparently seek this punishment upon me? Why? God damn it. You guys, my connection to YouTube is not going too well. Is it going? Is it going? How is it looking, guys? Is the video, sorry, is everything just kind of stopping and starting? I need to know exactly what it's looking like. Is the video stopping? YouTube studio page, level latency and bitrate. That's the thing. Over on YouTube, it's saying, quote unquote, okay. Now it says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Earlier, it was saying, oh, it looks okay. Stream is healthy. I think it might be a YouTube issue. It's happening to several others. Is it? YouTube! Get your damn shit together. Come on. Come on, man. Are other streams dying right now? Huh. What's going on? Where? Oh, guys, really? Ay. I bet it's not happening to the big channels. Any other channels out there you guys can confirm? It keeps dropping to 0. What the hell? Okay, I am not liking this. Is it me, or does this like to happen on Wednesdays? Because this was exactly what happened exactly 1 week ago. Right? Wasn't it also a Wednesday when this happened? Do you guys remember? I think it was exactly 1 week ago when this happened. Why is it happening on another Wednesday? What is up with Wednesday? Because as far as I can tell right now, it's the internet. I'm looking at what do you call it? I'm looking at OBS's statistics, and all of the frame drops are due to network. It is like 48% all network. I think YouTube is a dying, guys. How about this? Let's look on Twitter. That's always fun, right? It crashed several times. How? Like, what were the things that changed? Like, what kind of changes were made? It happened to speak it today, have crashed several times. Because I'm not sure what's going on exactly. As far as I can tell, where I can see it most evident is in my OBS. Yeah, I can see the connection to YouTube, to the YouTube server, is constantly like dipping. It goes to like, oh, 12K, which is green, 14K green, and then it goes block red, 8,000, 4,000, and it goes back up again. It is not stable. Exactly what's happening to you too, as well as the stream dying. It was bitrate issue. Change it a few times. Here's the thing. It still kept dipping in and out, even when I dropped to the frame rate earlier. Let's see. Let's try changing it again. Alright, so let's bring the bitrate back down to around what they were saying earlier. It's at 4,500. Let's see if that changes anything. Okay, but so far, is the stream itself choppy? Like, is the audio okay? Or is the stream, all in all, just dead every 5-10 seconds? Because I feel like that's going to be important in identifying whether we can continue or not. Audio was perfect, just the video, and occasionally the stream would be like, I'm just done. Okay, it says that the recommended bitrate is 4,500. So I'm gonna go ahead and change I changed the bitrate to that, and I'm just waiting for OBS to actually kick in and try to start sending things at 4,500. And until then, we're just gonna have to wait and see if it starts clocking in at 4,500 kbps. Which is, honestly, I'm just a little annoyed that, you know, it's taking quite a bit of work just to get started. We've been spending the past 20 or so minutes just struggling with this. James came. Oh, it still says Zelda. Could you try? Okay, it should have changed. Yeah, could you try refreshing again? Because it should not. The category should be just, you know, entertainment now. So I feel like that should be the case, or at least there's nowhere else I can edit that. Customization, blah, blah, blah. No, that's fine. Details. Yeah, I changed it in where I usually change it. Yeah, I even changed my thumbnail. Did you guys see the new... oh, wait, no, I guess you wouldn't see the new thumbnail. But did you guys get to see... When I asked you to refresh at the very beginning of the stream, did it actually show you the new thumbnail? Check on phone, maybe. Might be a cache thing. Yeah, it says Zelda stuff. We see the new thumbnail, though. So maybe it's just YouTube again being an absolute butt. Because I changed it already along with the thumbnail. Because I figured that I probably needed to change it anyway. That's not great. I can probably change it again manually after, what do you call it? After the stream ends, yeah? I swear to God, though, YouTube is being a pain! Dear YouTube, I sincerely write this message to you from the bottom of my blackened, aching heart. I would like to inform you that your platform is having a seizure. I don't know what it is, but apparently it's not just me. Bruh, what is D&D and why is it everywhere, and am I living under a rock? Okay, so, good question, dude. First thing I will answer you. I do not believe you are living under a rock. It is fine if you don't know what D&D is. It doesn't make you any lesser of a human being. Sad. That is all. But don't worry. Making some anime dude on the internet sad shouldn't really be a big deal. But to answer your other question, what is D&D? Depending on who you ask, maybe the answer is do not disturb. But that's not why you're here today, is it? The D&D I'm referring to, which I should probably actually check if that is even the D&D you're referring to, is Dungeons and Dragons, right? It is a tabletop role-playing game currently under Wizards of the Coast. Recent scandals aside, is still pretty fun to play, right? But it is far from the only tabletop RPG that you can play. Now, I am still waiting for technical issues to stop happening, because we're kind of having a bit of a problem here with YouTube. And I would very much like it if YouTube stopped shitting the bed. So anytime now, YouTube. Anytime now. But until then, let's go back. So, Dungeons and Dragons. It is basically, like I said, a tabletop RPG. It's a lot of rules where you guys can just gather around a table. One person in the group is going to be what they call a dungeon master or a game master if you're using other systems. And everybody else is generally going to be a player. They create a character, whether it be a stalwart paladin or a sneaky ass rogue or a noodly armed wizard, and they go off on adventures guided by the dungeon master and hopefully have a nice satisfying conclusion at the end of the big story that's being, played out. Think of it as playing, I don't know, what's a actual good RPG nowadays? Like modern equivalent. Imagine Skyrim. Imagine if you were playing pretend Skyrim, and instead of a PC, it's another buddy of yours or somebody else, and then you can also have it play multiplayer with a bunch of other people. To kind of put it that way, that's kind of the gist of it. You have your specific rule sets, you have your different character classes you can choose from, different races and abilities, and that's actually what we're going to be trying to do today. We're going to be running through the gauntlet if you're interested in creating new characters. And who knows, if it ends up being something you find yourself interested in, you can go ahead and I'll try to link you guys some resources to help you get started. Skyrim came to tabletop before the next installation came out. Skyrim's gonna be on your toaster before then. Yeah. So, let's see. YouTube is still being a pain. It still has OBS actually at this stage. OBS is still not actually reflect. Oh my god! Here's a summer sale for D&D books. Control yourself, Mr. Fowl. Do not use your wallet. Be still, my beating heart, and be still, my dying wallet. Please. Look at all of these books that are beautiful and on sale. Okay, hang on, guys. Sorry. Super duper something. D&D, the dating sim game? Yes, exactly. Yes, Dungeons and Dating. That is exactly what we're about to talk about. The dungeon of your hearts and your dates and how they put you in it. Now, what were we doing? Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I was going to get you guys to the other stream. So, let me put that in there. Ah, crap. Let me pull the right window. D&D Beyond. Let me just take that. No, that's fine. I'll leave that there. We'll do that in this other window. No. Okay, let's do it this way then. I must turn down the BGM a little bit. Alright. That hopefully will do it. Now let's see if my other window is also working fine. Okay. I can probably put it a little higher. Higher and higher. Alright. I think this is fine. I think this will do. No, maybe a little bit. No, that's fine. It's fine. And here we are. So here we are at the D&D Beyond website. And I have to close a window that's saying everything's on sale. Opinion on anime-esque characters in D&D. Here's the thing. Here's the wonderful thing about D&D, right? If everybody's into it, cool, right? It's fine to have anime-esque characters in D&D. If that's how you want to roll, you know, get yourself a DM that's into the same stuff. And hell, why not? You know, like everybody gets inspired for characters, for character ideas everywhere. The part where it kind of draws the line for me personally is if your expectation is that if your DM is going to be constantly bending the rules for you just so you can live out your anime fantasies to the detriment of everyone in the group, yeah, that's not cool, right? Rule number 1 for me when it comes to D&D: find a group that shares the same kind of like vibe for playing D&D. Yeah? Find a group that vibes the same way. If, let's say, for example, let's say I am gonna DM for a table full of weebs, right? And they said they want to do this, they want to do that, right? That's their idea of what they want to do. So there are 2 things that can happen. Either one, we can start putting down some house rules for how we're gonna do things to make it more to their taste. If they want something a little bit more anime, whatever, I'm sure we can homebrew some house rules. Otherwise, maybe there's another game that's better suited for what they want. Because after all, D&D, while definitely beloved by millions and millions, is definitely not the be-all end-all for tabletop RPG, right? So that's the thing. That's my thought on it. If, depending on what you want out of your game, there may be better options for you than D&D, right? But if people are willing to compromise and be like, hey, you know what, we really want to try it in D&D, or we're willing to compromise on some of the stuff we want to do, then maybe cool. All right, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can make some things a bit more of what they want, because at the end of the day, you have to ask the question, right? What are your expectations with an anime-esque character, right? Do you still have stories on Nat 1 that went so bad that it still helped you? Okay. Alright, so for a bit of background, right? I am mainly a DM, right? I have played in a couple games. I've played in a bunch of games as a player, but more often than not, I am the DM, right? I am like the forever DM in my group. So my Nat 1s are usually good, regardless, for like the players, right? And I'm trying to think, what are some of the Nat 1s I'm thinking now that helped players? Like their roles that ended up, like even though it's a Nat 1, it ended up being good. That's a good one. I think okay. So there is so I had this party, right? So they arrive in this, they actually managed to have their little like get together. They started off on a ship that explodes. They get, washed ashore amidst the rubble and the wreckage of the ship and everything. And how that started off is that each of them had like a kind of prologue session with me as a DM. And it started with them being on the ship, right? So they have their backstory, they're on the ship for whatever reason, and each of the players basically had a probable cause for being the reason the ship exploded in the first place. So as far as the players are concerned, you're right, for each player is concerned, they were personally responsible for the ship blowing up. Whether it was really them, doesn't matter anymore. The ship blew up. Who cares, right? But, well, no, okay. It was a little relevant at first. Because the moment they were washed ashore, they found themselves in prison. Because each of them are being, like, you're under suspicion of blowing up the ship. Blah, 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 blah. Right? But eventually they escape. They manage to find themselves elsewhere. And they're investigating the actual perpetrators for the ship blowing up. And they run into a bunch of urchins in the city. So the city is a bit of it's a port town, so it's kind of what you would expect a lot of port towns to be. Lots of people, lots of corruption, lots of crime. And so there's a lot of, urchins out there, these street kids that are going around, lifting purses and whatnot. Lots of street rats, as Aladdin would probably sing. And they got their purses cut, or at least the major part of their purse, right? And they were pretty set on getting that purse back. So they went through this entire of essentially trying to corner this kid, right? And they had a chase throughout the city streets. So they had a map, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go this way. And they're basically rolling all of these like dexterity checks and everything, like ability checks, to try and catch this kid who was good. Right? This kid has been doing it for a while. Eventually, they managed to catch the kid. And they actually had a pretty brilliant idea, in my opinion. And that instead of just, being murder hobos, because one, he's a child, they actually decided and successfully persuaded this kid and his friends to be their little intel network. Which sounded amazing, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, you guys now have like this little network of street rats going through town, gathering info for you, and, trying to track down what the hell is going on, right? And so they did. They got their purses back. They paid the kid and his friends some sum of money. I forget how much, but they paid this kid and their friends, some money to check out Oliver Twist with a twist. So they check out. They find out like there is this suspicious activity going on at this warehouse at the port, right? So they have, and the problem is there's also this other place in town that requires their attention. I forget what it was, but basically they were like, all right, we don't want to split the party because that's dumb. Nobody ever, their mind is, who ever really benefited? Can I pause the story real quick? For what? It's almost, we're almost there. What's going on there? Something? Also, yeah, actually, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just take a look at the OBS again real quick if we're actually making progress. Am I still streaming at a sad 12? I'm trying to set it to 4,500 kbps, but it's not doing that. What is going on? I wonder if I should try to reconnect, guys. Do you guys think it'd be better if I just killed OBS a second time and then tried to reconnect? Okay, I'm gonna reconnect. I'm gonna kill OBS again. Give me a minute. So give me about 3 minutes. I'm gonna try to get everything back in order. Kill. Hello? Ah! Hello? All right, are we good? Are we back? I set it to 4,500 like they wanted it. Now, guys, OBS is telling me it isn't. OBS is telling me that the stream quality is absolute garbage. Well, let's hold our breaths for a little bit then, shall we? Fingers crossed that everything is now steady. Otherwise, I am gonna get pissed. Oh, YouTube, why are you being such a pain in my nards? Come on. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. 14 per second behind and 144p. I'm sorry, guys. You guys don't deserve this. YouTube is being an absolute pain, so we'll do what we can. But really, this happened the exact same way last week on a Wednesday. At this rate, I might have to not stream on Wednesdays. I feel like Wednesday is just being an absolute nightmare to stream on. Off topic, I remember you from SF6 when I did Smash references. Ah, yes. I was playing SF6 for a while, and I've kind of laid off the game for the past couple days. I'm thinking of hopping back in, but I'll probably just stream on Twitch for that. Because just, I can pick it up whenever. But as far as at least SF6 goes, that's where I'll probably be doing that. And I'll be saving some other stuff for here on YouTube. In any case, I'll just to finish the story. They went off. The party went off in another direction, and they told the kids, "Hey, can you guys check out this warehouse? All right, check out the warehouse and wait for us there." So they're like, "Okay, cool, we got you." And the kids also gave them like this little whistle that they use. So they have like this little whistle that they use to call out for the kids. And after they had their duties elsewhere, I think it was at the tavern or something. They checked out the tavern for information. They went to the warehouse to meet up with the kids. They used the whistle. No one came. And the party was like, "We got scammed out of our money. We paid those kids, those kids money, and look, they're gone. They're not responding to the whistle. There's not a kid in sight. We got bamboozled." So they're pretty pissed off. Little did they know, I rolled behind the scenes, and they got a 1. And that would lead to the events that are about to unfold. Because they decide, you know what? They heard some noises. The noise is inside, and they figured, okay, let's go inside, very quiet. YouTube doing its best. Is it really? Is it really? But yeah, so they go inside, they sneak inside the warehouse. And thankfully, they pass their stealth checks. But as they peer inside the warehouse, sneaking behind pallets of crates and all sorts of other trading goods, they peer around the corner and they see several cages. Cages filled with people. Elderly, the lame, the sick. And inside the cage that lay at the very center of what appeared to be some kind of ritual circle were the very children that they had sent to the warehouse. All these street rats clamoring to be set free from inside that cage. And around them, walking freely, are these figures in cloaks. Some of them wielded staves with magical-looking red orbs upon them. And one of them, unmasked, with a decrepit face and whitened eyes, began to chant. and the party watched on in horror as the children within the cage slowly began to shrivel up and turn to dust as their souls were forcibly ripped from their bodies and their flesh rendered to dust. Yes. And so it was that a demon was summoned forth by their own hands, for they had sent the children to the warehouse, unknowingly sending these children to their deaths. They watched on in horror, and that was the start of their adventure. That was session 1, dear chat. That was their first session in their campaign. And there are many, and that adventure would go on to be probably one of my favorite campaigns that I have ever personally run. So yeah. Oh, and guess what? This party of players, this was their very first D&D game. This was their very first D&D session ever. They were fun players. They were definitely very fun players to have. The sheer and we were doing this around a table. This was like pre-COVID, right? This was pre-COVID, so we were all gathered around this table, and I watched their eyes just widen and their jaws drop at what was unfolding before them when the children were basically sacrificed to summon a demon into existence. Good times, good times. So sad, of course. You have to start an adventure with abject tragedy. Do you have a player who had a "Are you a great actor or actually mad at me" moment? No. No. I actually don't think I have, because I do not feel like I have ever done anything that has actually gotten players, like, angry at me. Alright? I have had players angry at each other, but not at me. Now, whether or not that player versus player moment may have been orchestrated is debatable. It is debatable. But I have had players be like, yo, what the fuck? Any other emotions beside anger? Let's see. Well, definitely they had abject horror at watching the children be sacrificed. And I've also had some actual legitimate sadness because of some characters not making it. And then there's relief and tension because I had them basically roll several. Okay, so one of the fun little things I had that played out well was they were in a pocket dimension in order to fight this again, like, this is the same campaign where they were fighting against several demons and whatnot. So they were fighting in a pocket dimension, and they defeated basically the owner of this pocket dimension, right? So they killed him. So naturally, the pocket dimension, being held up as a construct of this person they just killed, begins to collapse. And they basically just started to have all of these I had them run a marathon of of disadvantage ability checks, basically hopping and racing across what was a collapsing reality in order to make it back to the portal and make it through in time. One player, unfortunately, kind of flubbed one of their rolls and was far behind everyone else. And it was literally on the last roll that they had left that the other players were like, all right, we're going to assist them and extend our hand out together. So they literally used the power of friendship to save the last person inside the collapsing reality marble. And it actually worked. It barely passed the DC that was set, that they literally like just made it out by the skin of their teeth. And I have not seen like a group of people just kind of collapse at a table as if they had just run like, you know, a 500-meter dash or something. It was amazing, and they were cheering at the table just because they barely managed to get that last player out. Good times. So yeah, I feel like, you know, like D&D is one of those games where you can have those moments that are very difficult to really kind of you're back to 1080p. Woo, streaming normal. All right, guys, chat, make sure to check, are you able now to stream at 4500? I mean, sorry, at 1080p. I can also see that my OBS looks like it's stabilizing as well at 4700-ish. So, you're able? Nice. Okay. So yeah, you know, I've had several moments of fun D&D sessions. Oh, and also for the ground? Oh, okay, so that was a fun one. Because I had this one campaign that I played with, and Eve was in it, right? They were basically going up against a ground burrowing opponent. I forget. It was this creature that basically was burrowing to avoid detection, and then it would try to attack. It would attack from beneath them, essentially. And he was playing a barbarian. I think you were playing a dragonborn barbarian, if I'm remembering correctly. And you were basically just so angry that you couldn't hit the thing, is that you started attacking the ground that you stood on, hoping to land a lucky hit against the ground on the burrowing. I forgot the ether gas. There we go. That you were trying to just hit the ether gas that was burrowing beneath you. And I think you actually got lucky once. If I'm remembering that, you got lucky once, and you actually managed to just literally, like, blast the ground beneath you, as if it was like an actual exploded the ground and killed the sucker that was right there between your legs. Should reframe. Oh, force breath. Oh, yeah. So that's how you did it, right? Yeah, so I let you use your force breath to basically get you in the air. Yeah. So you basically catapulted yourself off the ground. And then you... Right, okay, yeah. So, I remember now. You'll use the force breath, essentially, to kind of blast the earth beneath you. Okay, I remember now. That was what do you call that? That was how it went. It's been a couple of months though. I need to play D&D again, guys. I haven't like DM'd in a while. I want to run. Maybe I'll try to ask a couple players who might be interested. Should have attacked a Titan, not the ground. That's the funny thing. That's the fun thing about D&D. There is no. I don't believe that there are necessarily like optimal like approaches. Any approach is perfectly valid in my opinion. whatever. But it is, you know, like if you can be creative in how you play the game, it's just, you know, it's a good time for everyone. And honestly, one of my favorite groups of players was actually a group of professional wrestlers. And let me tell you something. Running a Dungeons and Dragons game, a Titan on the ground, you know something? That flew right over my head. I can't believe I didn't see that. Somebody ring the bell of shame. Let me see if I can find that. Let's do that. Let's play it real quick. Shame bell. Where is it? Man, my internet still seems like it's kind of in dirt. Come on. My internet's not that bad.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
There we go. There we go. Shame bell. You didn't get my punch, so the stream dipped in quality? True enough. Everything slowed down there for a minute. But anyway, running a Dungeons and Dragons game for a bunch of professional wrestlers is a completely different ball game, in my opinion. Those guys know how to role play, you know? Like those guys like practically role play for a living as wrestlers. Hey Pixel, welcome to the stream. How are you? How have your streams been, by the way? Has your internet still been a butt? I'm hoping it's improved. But internet aside, hopefully your PC isn't setting itself on fire. In any case, yeah, those guys know how to play really well. Or maybe just that particular set of wrestlers, because they do roleplay quite well, in my opinion, and it's super fun playing with them because of that. They're also super creative. Alright, so let's actually get to the main event. Internet's still being weird, but it's also a bit too hot in the house to stream. Yeah, that is most unfortunate. That is most unfortunate. Alright, so I hope though that it gets better for you soon. You know? The heat is also really bad, so please make sure you stay hydrated, okay? Drink lots of water. So in the meantime, let's have a look at... I promise I'm not going to buy anything. We're just going to look. I think I need to do something here again real quick. Oh. No, that's not it. Okay, that should about do it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's see what the digital dice has for a minute before I do anything else. Okay, it's loading pretty okay. Gemstone dice pack. Oh, but it doesn't look so good. Oh, this one looks nice though. Battle for a Beyond dice pack. Last time I heard someone say, no, I'm just looking, they buy something just to be nice. I know, I promise, guys, I promise. I'm not gonna... Oh, this actually looks good. It's a pack. It's not just one dice, it's a whole set. It's like a set of 6 differently colored dice. Is it gonna load yet? Yeah, it's gonna load. Ooh. Oh, that looks kind of pretty. I like this one. Ooh, this one looks even better. Ooh. Oh, this one I like. I like the black and purple contrast on this one. Ah, this looks good. And it's... Ooh. Okay, this one's alright. Very earthy looking dice. I would buy them just to collect them and put them on the shelf. I have several dice in a bag right now. I'll when I get my hand cam setup back, I'll show it to you guys. We'll go over my dice collection. Ooh. Okay, this one's alright, but some of the hard contrasts are not my thing. I don't like the text on this. I wish they went with a different colored, like, for the numbers. It's kind of hard to see on against the red and black, not gonna lie. It is a little hard to see. Maybe they should have gone with, like, white numbers instead of red. How about this one? I think I might like this one as well. The gold? A gold would be nice. Ah, yeah, true. Gold is also pretty good. Ooh, I like this one. I like this. I like the color combination on this one. Blue, a bit of gray, a bit of purple. Yeah. Yep. This looks good. I like it. I like this one. Ooh. So, yeah, let's actually have a look then at... Oh, what happened? Which is... Okay, yeah, that's good. So let's actually go back to the marketplace. We'll have a quick look at what else is on sale. Not that I'm buying anything, but it's nice to see. You guys might be interested too. Oh look, DMG is now just $18 instead of the usual $30. But I already have it. So let's say Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. Is this about you, Eve? It's an adventure module. It's a Dragonlance one. 20% off. And there's also a treasure hoard dice set, but this one has a, what do you call it? A mimic on it. Is there a dark mode for this website? I hope so. I hope so. I don't. No. It does not. It would not appear that there is a dark mode. But I can turn it on. There we go. It's a little harder to read now, but at least it's darkish mode. And it's not gonna hurt or blind you guys for a while. Okay, well, let's go now to the character creation then, yeah? I actually have a number of different characters already set up here in the marketplace or in D&D Beyond. Actually, I need to make sure. Am I still subbed or... or did it already end? Because I know I unsubbed from Beyond some time ago during the OGL debacle. Buddy, don't tell me that it's not working right because of the Dark Reader app. Or is it my internet? It's hard to tell. Alright, let's turn it off. Ah! Going from dark mode to light is unpleasant. Alright, let's see if I go into dark mode now. Okay, I can do that. That's much better. Ugh. There's a quicker way to turn on dark mode beside chrome flags? I don't know how that works. Okay. So as you can see, I have a number of characters already here. I got my friend some nice dice for D&D for her birthday. And it's so cute. It's got cat faces. Ah. Have you, I remember you should also have a pair, right? From our session last time. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Oh crap, stream is kind of dipping again. I saw stream dipping just, yeah, there it is. Stream is dipping. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start create a character. And I'm gonna run you guys through the process of how I would go around character creation in general, right? And then, you know, hopefully you guys might get your own ideas for how to run it as well. And if you weren't sure about how characters were being created before, then hopefully you'll have an idea now. Oh, hey, this is new. Spinning Wheel of Death. Go, do your best, YouTube. Alright, this is actually a nice new, what do you call that? Roll up a randomized character, do a quick build, pre-made, and standard. It used to just be standard and quick build. It looks like pre-made and random are new stuff they're adding. So, let's go and start building. And it doesn't look like dark mode is dark reader is working anymore. So we'll have to figure this out. Also, this is not, I just remembered this is not Chrome and this is Firefox. Because D&D Beyond seems to have weird issues on Chrome. And I'm not sure if that was the case or if there was another reason. Regardless, we're here on this now, and I don't want to have to go change things. So, Gambare, that just means it's a Japanese phrase that generally translates to do your best or let's do our best. So that's kind of that's that kind of phrase. If I recall correctly, under dark mode. But that's for character sheets, not for like the website in general, I think. Woohoo! Alright. 13. Okay, so let's go then with a character name. Actually, I kind of leave this a little bit. Name goes here. Let's go name goes here. All right. Name is usually one of the last things I do because I tend to take my time with that. So let's go ahead and let's put in homebrew. Let's put in critical role content. Let's put in non-core D&D. Let's put everything in there. Right now, I'm not interested in using Minecraft or Rick and Morty content, although I'm curious to see what Rick and Morty content is actually like. So, I might give it a look later. So, optional class features. This depends, right? So, this depends. The Chosen One. Or, wait, what was the name of the character in Planescape? Was it just the Nameless One? I think it was just the Nameless One. Let me just fact check myself. Protagonist, Planescape Torment. Yeah, it's just the nameless one. That's the name, the character in Planescape Torment. One of the most like balls trippy RPGs of its era. You haven't been to D&D Beyond in ages? Yeah, there is partnered Minecraft content. You know what? Let's have a look at it. Let's enable it and see what Minecraft content is actually available in D&D. So I think, okay, so these settings, these are going to depend on what your agreement is with your DM. If you guys will be using milestone or EXP based character progression. Same thing with the HP stuff. And then as far as prerequisites, when it comes to me, feats are all right. Multi-classes are all right. Encumbrance, I don't usually use encumbrance because depending on the players. If the players really want it, go ahead, sure. But I personally find it to be a little bit too much of a hassle to do, unless it's the actual point of it. Because if you're going to be playing, like, let's say, a super hardcore game where weight is actually taken into consideration, sure, that's cool. If that's the kind of game you want to run. I just don't find myself very enticed by the idea for most games, right? And same thing here. So coins don't count against your total weight carried. Again, this is for one of those. This is the toggle for the kind of players and DMs who want that ultra hardcore, everything has to be accounted for experience. Blessed be the lighthearted games without encumbrance, right? And this one's a preference, whether you want the modifiers on top or the ability score. That's entirely up to you. So let's continue then, right? Let's see if the race here is where we have the Minecraft content. Kind of curious. Because the internet is being a little bit of a butt on my end, I think this is taking a while to load. It normally shouldn't. It really normally shouldn't. And I don't think I have anything downloading right now. Yeah, nothing's downloading. So we'll have to see. I think I have most of the content that I want. I don't think it's all that I need though. So let's hide the legacy content. So we have Arakocra, Asamar, Air Genasi's, Bugbears. Bunny Form is a homebrew that I'm working on. So Eve knows about it. Then we have Centaur, we have Changeling. There's a custom lineage from Tasha's. Deep Gnome, Dragonborn. Also, welcome Nito. I forgot to welcome you in. How are you doing? Let's see. Duergard. Oh, yeah. Holmes Brew. For you FF14 folks, I actually played in a homebrew FF14 D&D camp. More of a D&D one-shot that use FF14 content. So I played as a Lalafell. I played as a Lalafell barbarian whose name was Anangi Angi. Howdy, no worries. I just threw in my comment without actually saying hi as well. It's all good. You know, you're always welcome here, Nito. I remember having a D&D stream where I was in someone's carport and the DM pulled out his giant map and they started saying math gibberish while passing out pre-made characters, then dream ended. What? I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I can imagine it was a Lalafell. I had a brief stint as a Lalafell in FF14. It wasn't a very long one, but it was a stint. So far, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. We still have the usual Githyanki, Githzerai. We have the bunny folks. We have Kobold, Lineages, Owlin. You know I'm gonna get that Owlin race from Strixhaven. Oh, and this was a fun, what do you call it? Fun homebrew race, which is 3 sheep in a trench coat. which apparently has been used in other places in variants like 3 goblins and a cloak. I enjoy... Actually, how do you pronounce that? I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that or that race name. And... No, there's nothing... So it's not in the races. So the Minecraft content isn't in the races. So... Harengon? Ah! Oh, I see the pun now. So it's Harengon. Got it. I see. You know what? Let's have... That's how I say it too. I see. Okay, then that is how I will go for it from now on. Alright, so the race that we're gonna be going for this one is the turtle. Mostly because I'm just thinking, you know what? A turtle sounds cool to make right now. A turtle. Carrying their shelter on their backs gives turtles a special feeling of security wherever they go. For even if they visit a far unknown country, they have a place to lay their heads. Yes, the turtle. They have the racial traits are claws, hold breath, natural armor, nature's intuition, and shell defense. Assassin Harengon is surprisingly fun. Always surprise the DM with a 20+ on initiative. Ah, that's fun. Okay. Wait, hang on. How about I just introduce you guys to another character? I feel like rather than creating one of my own, creating a new one, I can't be the immortal god of destruction from Steve from Minecraft? Apparently not. I'm gonna go introduce you guys to another character that I have a bit of a special place for because I never got to play him. I was supposed to play this character in a campaign, but I never got to. And I'm very sad and frustrated because I think he is an absolutely wonderful character. So I will take out my frustration of not being able to play him with you guys. And you're going all to meet one of my favorite characters who goes by the name of Wellington LaBeouf. Alright, so let's go ahead and introduce you to my boy Wellington's abilities and whatnot. I am interested in the sheet I've seen that Richter Fowl fellow. Of course I'd make my own character in D&D Beyond. Okay, so we have Wellington LaBeouf, guys. So we've seen, let's actually enable the Minecraft content again. And let's move on to the next page. So Wellington LaBeouf is a Loxodon. And if you're not familiar with what a Loxodon is, they're basically anthropomorphic elephants. They're big-ass elephants walking on 2 legs, and they kick ass. Their abilities are they have powerful build, Loxodon Serenity, natural armor, trunk, and keen smell. So powerful build basically means that you count one size larger when it comes to your carrying capacity and what you can push around, drag, or lift. Because you're big, yo. Loxodon Serenity is an advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened. My boy Wellington is chill. Hang on, I'm gonna get some water, guys. I just realized that I never got water, even though I said I would. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Oliver, how do one make a D&D character? We're actually going to get to that. We're actually doing that now, Oliver. So, basically, when it comes to making a D&D character, we can break it down. What does the human part of the elephant? Well, everything. Everything, something. So, basically, when you create a character in D&D, the very first thing that you kind of want to have is a character concept. Basically, do you want to be like a stalwart kind of warrior, sword and shield in hand, fighting for justice? Or do you want to be like a sneaky character who is very playful and tricksy? Do you want to be a gruff mercenary who's in it just for the money but has a heart of gold deep down? Or do you want to be a bright young adventurer, ready to strike it out into the world to fight evil wherever it may rear its ugly head? You know, what kind of character do you want to play? The upper part is human, down below is an elephant. The trunk. It's the trunk. The trunk in these trunks. So yeah. And in the case of Wellington basically is the embodiment of a saying. So Wellington here is a Loxodon thief that sneaks, attacks evildoers. One-liner is, guess you haven't seen the elephant in the room. Exactly, Nito. That is exactly the concept of Wellington LaBeouf. He is a Loxodon rogue. He is a thief. And that was the entire joke behind the character. And I never got to play him. It is exactly it. You know? He is exactly that was the entire point of the character. It was so fun. And see his expertise, right? He has expertise. It's stealth and deception. Sorry I ruined the joke. Glad to see we get to share the same brain cell. Yes. Does he say just do it? Maybe he does. I never got to play him. I would have. Definitely would have. But yeah, like the entire point, the entire idea behind Loxodon, or behind Wellington, was that he was supposed to be the elephant in the room. Right? That's the entire joke. I wanted to play him so bad. Because I ended up, like, imagining him. Because the character behind Wellington, like the backstory of Wellington LaBeouf, is that he comes from a well-to-do family, right? He's not super wealthy, but he's well-to-do, right? But he's kind of bored. And he's always tired of being overlooked in his family as like, oh, everybody forgets that Wellington's there. Doesn't he just like, you know, like, and he's always had that kind of gift of sneaking up on people that he just like, and here's the thing, in my mind, the reason why Wellington is actually a good thief or a good rogue is not so much that he's super sneaky. He just has this uncanny ability for you to forget that he's there or not notice he is there. Have you ever met the kind of people where they just sneak up on you? Like, they don't try, but you just, oh shit, don't do that. Why'd you sneak up on me? I don't know, I just walked in, I didn't do anything. You guys ever have that kind of person in your lives? The ones who just, that if they're at a party, you can easily forget that they were there or like lose sight of them? Where they just seem to kind of like blend in with the crowd a little too well. Oh, how I feel relatable to a fictional elephant. So that's the thing, right? So Wellington is this character who just seems so very unremarkable. You know? He does not stand out. So much so to the point that you easily forget he's there. Or you don't even notice it when he walks into the room. Because we know the opposite. We know some people who walk into a room, they don't look like much, but they have that presence. Right? They walk in and everybody's like, oh shit, who's that? Wellington is the exact opposite. He's just like, he walks in, nobody notices he's there. He is so unassuming, so uncharacteristic. And that's what makes him a good thief. And that's the entire thing. His personality isn't even like super sneaky or edgy. He's just like, hi guys. How's it going? How's it hanging? Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Jesus Christ! How long have you been standing there? I've been here for a while now. You didn't see me walk in? I'm pretty big. I saw some VTuber do for their character by rolling dice. It's so funny. We can that's actually something that we can do. Like rolling, what do you call that? Well, I know there's like there was this TikTok channel. Roll for sandwich. You can actually do something like that where we roll for like the character, like using like spinning a wheel and stuff. Yeah. Exactly, Oliver. Exactly. Does he steal with his trunk? Yeah, he does. And also, one of the funny scenes I imagined in my head for Wellington is that because he's so unassuming, he is like in the middle of the room. And it's such a cartoonish scene in my head that it's so funny that he's standing in the middle of the room. He has a lampshade over his head. Right? He just has like a lampshade over his head. And he's standing there perfectly still in the middle of the room. Like, what's his name? From Guardians of the Galaxy? Drax? You know, if you stand perfectly still. And then I imagine somebody just like tugging on his trunk. And then it lights up inside. It's just making me just chuckle. But yeah, so roll a disadvantage because you're too big to not be noticed. You would think that normally. That's the thing though. I want to play him. I really want to play him at some point. So perhaps I'll get a chance sometime. I'll let you guys know how it goes if I do. Okay, so how I typically go with the character creation is I figure out a concept, right? Like, for example, this entire point with Wellington is I wanted to have that joke, elephant in the room. So that made it kind of easy. Because that solved, okay, I'm going to go with Loxodon. I'm going to go with, what do you call it? I'm going to go with Rogue. It's all fun and games until the elephant scales the building via acrobatics. Funny you should say that. He actually has proficiency in acrobatics. You know? My boy Wellington is nimble as a fox. His proficiencies are acrobatics, stealth, deception, and performance. And his expertise are in stealth and deception. Don't tell me I hit the nail on the head again. He's got acrobatics. He's not gonna... He is good at it. He is good at it for his size. There's a lot of things this elephant can do that you would not suspect it. And in my mind, the entire idea of having this, like, giant elephant man just doing like a cartwheel so perfectly, like does a perfect cartwheel, and you're just like, what did I just see? You know, even if you spotted Wellington scale through, even if you spotted Wellington scale through the rooftops, right, with such nimble agility that would make a ninja blush, who would believe you? Who would believe you when you tell them, yo, I just saw an elephant scale a rooftop and like jumped across the roofs, you know? And then everybody's gonna be like, yo, what are you smoking? I wanna have some of that. Come on. Even you would question your own, you would gaslight yourself into saying that you were just imagining things if you saw an elephant scale through, you know, I bet Wellington would have a spider sonar. That would be amazing. I kind of want to see that now. You know? You would gaslight yourself into believing that you were just seeing things after you witnessed a literal spider elephant character like just nimbly swinging through the veranda or something, you know? And that's just so funny. That's just so funny to me. And that was like the main crux for having this character built that way. And so, surprisingly, his weakest stat, when it came down to setting up what stats I wanted, here's the thing. When I do character creation by default, if I'm just like creating a character for fun, civilian towards Soundguard, I swear there was an elephant that scaled the side of the building, snuck onto the balcony and broke in. Guard, yeah, sure, you drunk? How long have you been at the tavern today? I think that's enough drinks for you, buddy. That's kind of the point, and it's just so funny in my mind. I wanted to play him so bad. But yeah, look at his stats here. Strength is his actual weakest point, which is fine. Because I'm not going to be, you know, I'm not going to be fighting with strength. I'm going to be using finesse weapons. And I use standard array by default because I feel like it's the easiest way for me to gauge how I want to build it without necessarily having to like roll dice. If I play him and the DM says, okay, we're rolling for dice, cool, I'll roll the dice. But otherwise, using standard array gives me a pretty good idea of where I'm going with the character, right? And how I can generally build them even if the stats aren't necessarily the best. Because with standard array, you know, it's not the best rolls. It's not something you would normally want anyway. So as you can see, his dexterity is pretty high. His intelligence is also high. You know, our boy Wellington's smart. And he's also got decent charisma, right? His wisdom, not so great. He's a bit of a pushover as far as his personality goes. And his constitution is passable. You know, it's not incredible, but it's certainly something that he's not going to die on the first stab, right? So that's there in terms of abilities. And then when it comes to descriptions, I think, what was the background I chose for him? I forgot. Was it like noble or something, or background or something? We'll see what happens when it loads. Ah, sorry, my bad. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Man, internet is sucking dirt. Come on. Internet. Oh yeah, there we go. Criminal spy. Oh, there. I remembered now. Part of his background. He's a nice guy in general, right? He's very mild-mannered, generally just unassuming. But because of his inability to really say no and get peer pressured very easily, and his innate ability to actually be super sneaky without trying, he ended up getting roped into a small gang And that's why he was eventually like kind of disowned by his family. Because he got involved with a group of guys who were trying to steal stuff, and basically he got caught not because he couldn't sneak enough, but because he didn't get the queue that everybody was running. So he was the only one there left, and all of his other buddies had actually already escaped. And that's how he became a bit of a, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Something criminal? Like a career criminal. There we go, that's the term. And then his skill proficiency as a criminal and spy is that he has an Arcana skill proficiency, because he's, in his time, he's done a bit of, what do you call that? Magical tinkering. And then survival, because he's gotta, he needs to be able to look out for himself. And he's done that pretty well. And he plays cards, and he has a glass blower tools. So that's kind of where we're at with Wellington, right? So you pick your race, right? You pick a race that you want. You apply the bonuses, because if we go back, because every race will generally give you stats that you can increase or decrease. So, Constitution up by 2, Wisdom up by 1. And then you also have abilities you need to keep track of. And then depending on your race, you can also have languages. And and depending on what abilities you have as well. Like in this case, he has Keen Smell, which gives him advantage on smelling checks that involve perception, survival, or intelligence. So if it smells good, he actually has an advantage on it. And then for his trunk, he can actually grasp things, and he can also use that as a snorkel. It has a reach of 5 feet and can lift a number of pounds equal to 5 times his strength score. But his strength score is like 8. So 8 times 5 is 45. He can carry up to 45 pounds with his trunk. So yeah, he can use it to do simple tasks: lift, drop, hold, push, close a door, container, grapple someone, or even punch someone. Imagine getting bitch slapped by an elephant trunk. Your trunk can't wield weapons or shields or do anything that requires manual precision, such as using tools or magic items, or perform the somatic components of a spell. That's a little sad. I feel like trunk should be allowed to do somatic components. But yeah, and then equipment, after race, pick your class out and select the usual stuff that your class allows you. In the case of a rogue, you can decide your HP. So it's 8 plus your constitution modifier. So in this case, his con mod I think is 1. So his starting HP is basically 8. Oh, sorry, 9. My bad. So he starts off with 9 HP. And it's 2. Oh yeah, because his Loxodon gives him an extra 2 constitution points. So that becomes 14 instead of 12. So that means he actually has so it is 10 HP. Yeah, his starting max HP is 10. Now, proficiencies are basically means, for those of you not familiar, that there's like an ability chart. Just get some rope and use a trunk with a glaive eventually. Oh shit. So yeah, these are abilities: acrobatics, stealth, deception. Other things include athletics, survival, things like that. I'll show you guys the table later. Now basically, if you picked rogue, what it says here is that you can choose up to 4 abilities to have proficiencies in. Your saving throws are your dexterity and intelligence. Basically, what a saving throw is if somebody uses a skill on you that requires an ability. I thought that was a Tesla logo. It is not. It is just the rogue symbol. Because some abilities will say, hey, You're about to get hit with fireball. You have to roll dice to determine if you take full damage or half damage. So that's called a saving throw. If you pass the saving throw, sometimes what it says is that you'll take half damage or maybe no damage. And then, but if you fail it, then maybe you take the full damage and something else, right? So, but then you can have a saving throw that requires different stats for you to roll in. So let's say dodging fireball, I think is a dexterity saving throw, because you're going to be like jumping out of the way. So you're going to be asked to roll using with your dexterity as your stat. Because generally how D&D works is that if there's something you want to do, roll your dice and add whatever stat bonuses you get that is relevant to that roll. And then if you hit the number you need to pass, then great. If you fail, something bad happens. And you do that, rinse and repeat, and that's basically D&D. And weave a story in there somewhere. So in this case now, Dex and Intelligence. So if there's any Dex or Intelligence, then our boy Wellington gets a well, not really advantage, but like he rolls these stats. He gets a bonus for these stats. He's also an expert in thieves' tools, naturally. He also has proficiencies in weapons and specific armor types. So basically, it's up to you if you choose a class to read what are the stuff and bonuses that you get, right? Special abilities, spells, that depends entirely on your class. So you have to make sure that you read the player's handbook to find out what those abilities are. Then abilities, that's just rolling for stats, so don't worry about it too much. So description, again, if you're going back to this, the background is something that you can pick. And then depending on what that background is, you can get certain extra, like proficiencies and or abilities. So in the case of criminal and spy, what our boy Wellington gets is extra 2 proficiencies from a list, because it's not everything. So it's just specific abilities that the handbook will tell you about. And then apparently there's also a special ability called Criminal Contact, which basically means I got a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. So that's basically what this ability is. All right. Equipment. There's a whole set of instructions for how to do this. Either you roll for the money, or you can try to pick out from like a bunch of starting equipment to help you along the way, if you don't want to decide that. So lastly, let's take a look at the actual character sheet. Our boy Wellington LeBuff. So if we look, his strength is 8, Dex is 15. Yeah, his constitution is now 14 from 12 because he, what do you call that? Because he, what's this? Because he's a Loxodon, which gives a bonus. His intelligence is also 14, so he's pretty smart boyo. Wisdom is unfortunately just a 0. He's a bit of pushover. He's not very attentive. And his charisma is all right. Could be better, but he's all right. He's very polite, and people like him. He's a very sweet boy. Now, proficiency bonus. This is something that scales based on your level. So just refer to the handbook for this one, because this is determined and kind of fixed for everyone. So if you're like level 8 or something, then you have like a different proficiency bonus. So walking speed, this is determined mostly by your race, usually. And then some classes can also give you bonuses to walking speed. Inspiration, this is entirely dependent on your DM. Because it's a new system they implemented in 5th edition where you can be given inspiration and you can expend it in order to gain, I think, depending on, you can get like an additional dice to roll. You can re-roll 1 dice with inspiration. It's up to the DM, really, to give you opportunities to use your inspiration. Or it's up to you if you also ask, hey, can I use inspiration for this? And then your DM makes the call of whether that is appropriate or not. So when I said saving throws earlier, so these are different abilities related to saving throws, because each stat basically has one. But depending on which your class says you're good at, you can get bonuses for specific rolls. So wisdom, for example, I gain nothing. I just roll the dice raw, and whether I pass or not, that is it. But when it comes to intelligence or dexterity, I get bonuses. I get +4. So if I roll, let's say, for example, I rolled a, what do you call that? An 8, right? And then that would have failed. But because I have, it's dex +4, 8 + 4 is 12, I now suddenly pass, if the passing was 10, right? And in strength, it's gonna suck, because our boy Wellington doesn't have a very good grip. He's an elephant, for crying out loud. Sensing types, this one is just stuff that normally determines whether or not you notice things. So that is also like DM discretion. Now, when I said certain proficiencies and abilities here, I think it's skills, not abilities. Abilities are these big numbers here. So these are skills, and there's an entire list of them, as you might have noticed. So each of these, your DM might ask you to roll, because these things will determine whether or not you succeed at something. Let's say you're trying to kick a door down. DM says, okay, roll an athletics check if you are strong enough to kick down this door, or if you are successful in kicking down this door. My athletics sucks, so -1, meaning I need to roll really high in order to successfully kick a door down, right? And then on the opposite end, though, if he says, hey, you guys are going to be sneaking across a room. If you're trying not to get caught, I need you all to roll stealth checks. Where our boy Wellington gets a +6. So he is going to be particularly good at sneaking around. And over here in the bottom left, you have your proficiencies. These are things you have experience in and you know how to use them. So, for example, Wellington's good at, he knows how to use light armor. And all these other things like playing cards, thieves' tools, right? And then this chonking block here is mostly a lot of the other like abilities. And the first tab here and beyond is the actions. So these are the things that are going to be counted as actions in combat. So if you're in a fight, you have to set up your like weapons and equipment and stuff in the weapon tab or in the equipment tab earlier. And then that determines what are the stuff you have available here. So as you can see, I have like the short sword here. And the range is 5 feet, meaning I can only hit up to 5 feet in front of me or to my side. And then when I need to hit something, I get a bonus 4 to hit something. And then the damage my short sword can deal is just 1d6. And it's piercing damage. Also, there are some notes here. Basically, these just kind of refer to extra, properties that my weapon may have. And usually something here, like for example, light weapon, right? When it's a light weapon, it generally means that you can, finesse. Finesse weapon means you can use your dexterity as your bonus to hit things instead of just strength. So yeah, other than that, you have attack, you have actions here, other actions you can take, like disengaging or dodging. You can also, there are things called bonus actions, which is a special kind of action that you can do if you have abilities that use them. Reactions, these are things that only get triggered if you get hit, but it only happens once per turn, if I'm not mistaken. Once per round, rather. And then you also have some other abilities like sneak attack here. Apparently you can deal 1d6 extra damage if the opponent doesn't know you're hitting him. And so yeah, here's the inventory, the stuff that you have equipped. This is where you can set up your weapons. Features and traits just gives you a summary here of all your abilities in D&D Beyond, which is super convenient to have if you're looking for, oh, what can I do? What do I have available? Description is what the summary of what we picked out earlier in terms of like background. You can also set characteristics like their height, etc., etc., etc. And oh yeah, so we actually didn't discuss the personality traits that we picked earlier for him. So personality traits, what this basically means that these are, they actually give you options to pick 2 traits because you're given like a bunch of options. You can also write your own if you feel that that would be a much better representation. I went ahead and I think picked some default ones, but I think I'll probably get around to maybe writing them, writing custom ones if I ever get around into a campaign that I can play Wellington with. So in his case is Bonds, I will become the greatest thief that ever lived. He actually wants to become like a thief now, just out of like spite. But he does have a tell when he's lying. His ideals, chains are meant to be broken, as are those who would forge them. So he's kind of all about that freedom business. Speaking of which, happy 4th of July for all of you who hail from America. And then personality traits, always calm. And also the best way to get him to do something is to tell him he can't do it. Because our boy Wellington has a lot of pride. You know? That's how we got suckered into being a thief in the first place. But yeah. So that's basically the rundown of character creation in D&D. So let's try and maybe make a new character real quick, I suppose. We can go back to name goes here. Once it loads. So let's go to name goes here. Huh, did you guys notice the Minecraft content yet? Because I actually didn't notice any. I'm actually curious now. Maybe I should check it out after we make a new character, yeah? So what kind of race do you guys want to make? What race should we make our character? Any recommendations? First one I see is what I will use if it's available. Name goes here. Nil Goshir? We can make that the name. That sounds like a fair name. Let's go. Nil. 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 Let's go with Nail Goshir. That actually sounds like a nice name. We'll keep it up. Crocodile. Closest thing I think we can go to a crocodile is lizard folk. Lizard folk is probably the closest we can go. Yeah, let's go with lizard folk then. Ah yes, Nail, the warlock with the old one patron called Super Kami Guru. Is there a Dullahan? No, but I'm pretty sure that we can find one in, what do you call it? Well, if we look at the homebrew. Let's actually have a quick detour of, let's look at the homebrew. Let's look at the homebrew collection, yeah? Let's just look at homebrew in general. Races, all the racers. Let's look, Dullahan. Because I'm fairly certain it's probably there. If it will load anytime in the next century. Please. There we go. There we go. We have a bunch of Dullahan. These are all... By the way, these are all, what do you call that? Player created, I suppose? Yeah, these are all like community created. And there's one here that has 9 points, so it looks like there's a lot of people who have recommended this. So let's take a look, shall we? There is no way to bar the road against a Dullahan. All locks and gates open to them when they approach. They do not appreciate being watched on while on their errands, throwing a basin of blood on those who dare to do so, or even lashing out at the watcher's eyes with their whips. They are frightened of gold, and even a single gold pin can drive a Dullahan away. So, that looks like it's interesting. Irrational fears, gold and running water. Servants of a higher power. A Dullahan is most often brought into the world by the Raven Queen herself. People with heads that is detached from their bodies. Yeah. So these are, what do you call it? These are all community creations. This one looks like it actually has decent production on it, because they have like little quotes and everything. Like, let's go read this one. County Galloway, name change upon request. A man was on his way home one night between Roundstone and Ballyconnolly. It was just getting dark, and all of a sudden he heard the sound of horses' hooves pounding along the road behind him. Looking around, he saw the Dullahan on his charger, hurtling towards him at a fair speed. With a loud shout, he made to run, but the thing came on after him, gaining on him all the time. In truth, it would have overtaken him and carried him away had he not dropped the gold-headed pin from the folds of his shirt on the road behind him. There was a roar in the air above him, and when he looked again, the Dullahan was gone. So yeah, it does seem that, you know, let's take a look at the traits. It looks like Constitution and Dexterity are the two bonuses that were given buffs. And there is languages, common. So it does look like that they're really playing a lot on the fear of gold for some reason. I'm not sure where that originates from, though. This is actually my first time hearing of the story of Dullahans and the fear of gold and running water. The fear of running water, I feel like, might be like a carryover, I don't know, from some other lore. But I'm not sure where the fear of gold might be originating from a lore perspective. So who knows? Maybe they made it up. Maybe they picked it up from somewhere else. Let's see. Seeing body. Your headless body has blind sight out to 20 feet. Ah, right, because they have no heads. Or technically, they can remove their heads. A Dullahan can remove their head without harm, granting themselves advantage on intimidation checks. Oh. Dullahan is a mythos from Ireland. I see. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it is up to you to decide if this particular homebrew race is something that you feel is suitable for your table and your campaign. Right? So if you want to use this, for example, in your game, please make sure to run it by your dungeon master and make sure that they are down with this before simply just rolling up with a character sheet saying, "Hey guys, I'm a Dullahan," or whatever race you may decide to choose that is homebrewed. So let's go back to our crocodile now. So he's asking us to make a choice because some things here are automatically determined. So it's humanoid in size. Its creature type is humanoid. Its size is medium. It has a normal walking speed, which is about 30. That's standard for a lot of races. It has a bite ability. It can hold its breath underwater, well, not really underwater, but it can hold its breath for 15 minutes. It also has a Hungry Jaws ability. Apparently, you can gain temporary hit points. You can have like a life gain ability. Life gain ability of sorts, but it's only temporary hit points. And apparently, you also get you don't have to be wearing armor. Or yeah, you don't have to be wearing armor because you have scaly skin, which gives you a bonus to your armor. Welcome back, Nana. We're doing character creation in Dungeons and Dragons. And chat has decided that we're going to make a lizard folk character. So we've picked out the lizard folk and we've seen that it has specific abilities and sizes that are part of the race, right? So it has a bite ability, it can hold its breath. Can we name it Mark? Unfortunately, it already has a name, and that name is Nerl. So, and here's the thing though. So it's, other than having the natural armor ability, it has this thing called Nature's Intuition. So it's asking us to make a choice because we have additional proficiencies and skills. So now we can choose, but only from among this list here. So what kind of concept do you guys want our lizard person to be? Mark Zuck. If only. But instead we went with Nail. So what do you guys think our lizard folk should be? We can actually leave this blank for now while we go to the class, because I feel like going into class will definitely help us be a little bit more informed in making that decision. So, what class should we make our lizard folk? Nail can have the nickname Mark. Alright then, let's do that. Nail, Mark, go shear. So what class, guys? This one I leave up to you. The first class I see, I will use. Warlock was tempting, but I want you guys to make the vote now. If you have a race in mind, we have Artificer, Barbarian, Bard, Summoner. Summoner is not a class per se, or it's not a specific class, but that would fall under Wizard. That could fall under Wizard, guys. Depends on what you want to summon. True. Because the main casting classes all have the ability to summon a specific type of entity. Take, for example, the Druid has summon animals, right? Technically, Druid with circular... Yeah, Druid will let you summon like forest creatures, right? Wizards, on the other hand, will be more inclined... Like, actually, I'm not sure if the spell... what do you call it? If the spell which spells are available to Sorcerer and Warlock and Wizard. But there is Summon Monster as well. I think you can also summon Fae. We can look that up. Let's look up the spells now. Spells. I think that should fall under Conjuration, if I am not mistaken. So let's look at Summon. Let's filter the spells and find what are the ones that lets us summon. A lizard that summons more lizards. Find Familiar isn't Wizard exclusive. Okay, so here's the thing, right? So we have, the reason I asked that, the pet subclass with packed chains. Yeah, but I wasn't thinking of Familiar though, Nito. I was thinking these summons. Like, oh shoot, I think I clicked the whole thing. Back up. Summon Draconic Spirit, for example. The entire Conjuration school of magic. So summon Construct. This is Conjuration magic. This is for wizard and artificer. I think a lot of these might actually fall under wizard. Summon Fae, yeah, I remember Summon Fae specifically. This one is druid, ranger, warlock, and wizard. Because Fae spirits are very non-committal that way. Summon elemental is, I think, wizard. Oh no, it's also druid and ranger. Oh, well, what do you know? You can also a lot of summon spells via magic tattoos. True, but we're trying to pick a class here. Magic tattoos are like a separate can of worms altogether, you know? And let's not even include the, what do you call that? The artificer's abilities to just like slap spells onto anything, you know? So, oh, and then Summon Undead, of course, is under Necromancy. That's, I think, yeah, Warlock and Wizard. So what did you have in mind? A lizard that summons more lizard sounds thing. Wait, that would be... All I'm saying is you get summons from different pools. True, while having a summon focus build. That is true. Basically, if you want to be like a quote-unquote summoner, right, in that essence of the word, there are basically different ways to build it. And, what do you call that? And also different avenues for that let you summon stuff. Let's go then with Summon Beast. I think that should be fun. A bestial spirit if you want to go around. Oh wait, that's bestial spirit. A creature is an ally. Creature resembles an animal of your choice that is native to the chosen environment. If it's more lizards, probably druids, as they get to summon animals. There is Summon Beast. There is... These are Greater Demon, Lesser Demon. Yeah. Yeah, Greater Demon, Lesser Demon. It is gonna be Summon Beast in 5th edition. I'll abstain from actually choosing a class since I have a great bias towards Warlock and Bard. Ah. It's fine to have a bias. So, yeah, let's go then with Summon Beast. So we can be a lizard that summons lizards. You know, I like the idea with the summon character that Kenshi had from the new Mortal Kombat. It's like a blue fire ghost clone thing. I don't know what it's called. Ah. Because that's a little bit different. If you want to summon like a blue fire ghost clone thing, one way we can kind of flavor it that way is with a monk and summoning an astral spirit. Basically, you become a JoJo character with a fucking stand. You know, do you guys want to make a lizard JoJo character? Is that what you want to do? You want to go down summoning an astral spirit that fights with you? That's an elemental spirit. Yeah, fire ghost could be elemental spirit. Druid has it in the form of subclass, or just like Richter said, a monk. Yeah, if you want to go down like that kind of... it also works in kind of, to a lesser degree, barbarian, depending on how you want to flavor it that way. Jojo lizard, a crow. Is there like a language that calls crocodile that starts with a letter Joe? Or like, not really letter Joe, but like that has like the first syllable as Joe? Summon Construct is one of my personal favorites. I just like that. I'm very intrigued by it. But then again, you know, artificers are also fun for me. But my personal class biases. Well, the most important question to be asked then is, what old song is this stand referencing? True. What is a song that involves crocodiles or a lizard? that it will be the answer. Whatever song that is gonna be the song we'll figure out. Okay. But oh yeah. So quickly, my class biases, rogue. I love being a skill monkey. I love having all the options. I also enjoy cleric because clerics are busted as fuck in 5th edition. They're just super fun. Don't even get me started on the Thunder domain being goddamn Thor. And then I think maybe my third bias for class is gonna have to give it to Wizard. Oh no, Artificer. Just because I'm a big steampunk head. The next aboard question has so what is a old crocodile song? I can't think of anything at the top of my head. So let's just go with what do you call that then for now? Yeah, basically a stand. I just remembered it's called the Sento in Mortal Kombat 1. Lizard Love by Aerosmith. Thank you, Oliver. Okay. So let's call the stand Lizard Love. So let's call it Lizard Love. That's gonna be the name of our of Nail's stand, Lizard Love. So that means we're decided we're gonna make him a monk. And we're gonna ora our way through monsters. But wait. Nah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to change the character's name. We'll call him Nail Joe Shear. So now he's a JoJo. We'll still keep Mark, but we gotta change his name again. Milk Lizard by the Dillinger Escape Plan. I see. I think Lizard Love is probably gonna be a lot easier to say. Milk Lizard sounds way more interesting. Lizard Love or Milk Lizard? What do you guys think? Do you guys agree we should change his stand name to Milk Lizard? Also, yeah, our character's name now, I can't believe it. It's Nail Joe Shear. Nail Joe Mark Joe Shear. Joel would be good as well. No nail jokes anymore, though. No, it's fine. Nail Joe is fine. It sounds, it actually sounds like a proper kind of, it can sound like an actual character name. Nail Joe. It's like, oh, that's a very otherworldly name you've got there, Nail Joe. What's your last name? Joe Shear. Nail Joe Shear. Oh, I'll call you Jojo. Yep, that's how it is. That's how it's gonna go now, guys. So, no Joe Mama jokes. Vexa. So, now that we've picked Monk, somehow it's still related to Dio. Yeah. Okay, so we gotta pick proficiencies. So it's letting us pick, right? So we need to pick, what if the stand wields a sword, perhaps a katana? That can still work. That can still work. So, Vexa, one of the things that's fun about D&D, right, is that if your DM is cool, like me, then you guys can agree on flavoring certain aspects of your character, right? As long as functionally it remains the same, right? So we have, for example, the astral spirit of the monk. You can flavor it in a way that, hey, I want my stand to be wielding a katana. All right, sure, but it's still gonna be doing the same thing, right? It's gonna be the same ability. It's not gonna change how your astral spirit functions. It's just gonna look different. Flavor not only used to spice up dishes, but D&D as well. Exactly. You know, I am very open to flavoring stuff that is within reason, because I understand that D&D is not always gonna have, it's not always gonna present itself in a way that you want it to. So why stop someone from having, a little bit of extra satisfaction in their character, especially if you both agree that it's not gonna change how the game functions, right? No broken stuff, exactly, right? So let's go ahead and pick some skills for this, for our JoJo. Athletics for sure, because you gotta have athletics to go ora ora all day, right? Next, the question. Now, this next part is the one that's gonna be a little bit of a question. Do we become nimble as well? Are we gonna be super fast and strong and acrobatic? Or do we go into other abilities? I'm kind of inclined towards acrobatics, just because he's gonna be like a protagonist JoJo character. So he's gonna have he's gonna be so fast and so strong just as a baseline, much like every JoJo protag is. And then for musical instrument, this one's gonna be just anything really. We could go with strong and handsome lizardman. Yeah, we can definitely make him handsome. No, there's nothing stopping us from making an incredibly handsome Squidward, I mean lizard. Let's have him play the flute. Not glassblowers, the flute. Yeah, right? Because JoJo fans love flutes. There's that joke about JoJo fans, and when they see an unplayed flute. Right? So, and then we have unarmored defense. So we're just not going to be wearing armor. Because who needs armor when you've got, the power of a stand? Next, we're going to do standard array, which is my usual ritual. We do get to choose. Origin, ability score increases. Okay. So we'll have it with... Okay, let's actually roll this. Let's do the stats first. As a monk, we're gonna need strength, dexterity, constitution, and wisdom, I suppose. So let's go with wisdom first as our highest. Strength 14. Maybe not so much constitution anymore. Well, let's go with dex though. And let's have constitution as 12, intelligence 10, intelligence 8, charisma 10. That seem right? Which one do you guys want to make as a dump stat? Int or charisma? Let's make it charisma. Yeah, I don't want him dumb. Let's just make him unlikable. And then, because of that, we can have the option though. We have the option though to buff up our stats accordingly. And let's do it like let's do it like 1 gets 2, 1 gets 1. So we'll increase our strength by 2, and then our wisdom by 1. Right? That sounds fair. So we're going to have 16 strength and 16 wisdom. Which means that regardless of whether we're hitting him directly or hitting him with our stand, he's getting hit hard. So let's pick out a picture for our Chad lizard. We gotta wait for the portraits to load up, because the internet is slow as molasses right now. Load, I say! What if we just pick one? Oh, there's only one portrait. Okay. Nail Joe Shear. We can actually, and it says here we can choose an extra language. So let's go with, is there like lizard? Wait. Lizard. Is there lizard talk? Draconic. That sounds fair. Dragons are like lizards. And then for background, let's go with... What's a good background for a guy? Let's say gladiator. Let's say he was a gladiator. And then he found like enlightenment or something. And he's stylish. Performance. See, this is perfect. Our monk knows how to pose. He can JoJo pose. So we're gonna have a JoJo posing monk. And we gotta have... What is a molasses? Molasses? That's like a thick, syrupy, sweet... I forget what it is exactly, but I know it's thick, it's syrupy, and it's used for sweetening stuff. Molasses. Isn't that it? Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right? Let's make it insight. Yeah, because he has to know what he's thinking. Also, why is everybody bringing up molasses? What's going on? Did I miss something? Just not a fan of it? I see, I see. Oh, wait, we missed out on something. Guys, we missed out on something. I think we missed out on the race intuition skills. So here we can actually have perception, and we can also have survival. Molasses used in food or shoes molasses? That one I'm not... I know that molasses is used in food, but I don't know about shoe molasses. I have not had the opportunity to be acquainted with shoe molasses. It's sugar that's been processed into a thick syrup. I see, I see. Thank you, Pixel, for the clarification. So, we can... Okay, let's actually go into the one that matters, which is personal characteristics. So, personality traits of our JoJo. So, we have to pick two. So, let's make him a badass, stoic sugar syrup, like dink. It's not even a drink. Like, imagine it's super hella thick that you cannot, like, if you tried to drink it, you would choke on it and die. Probably. Okay, so... I know a story relevant to almost every situation. Do we make him a talkative JoJo, or do we make him, like... Because you can either make him, like, Jonathan, which is very noble. We can make him like Joseph, who's a bit of a rascal. We have Jotaro, who's very stoic and very, a man of few words. And then we have Josuke, who's also just a very nice kid overall. And then we have Jolene. Oh, sorry, Giorno. Don't forget Giorno, who's very determined and, and very, what do you call that? Sneaky at times. And then we have Jolene, who is very brash and just, fiery and straightforward. It's a byproduct of actual sugar refinement from cane sugar. It's a love it or hate it kind of deal. I see. I kind of want to order some molasses now. Can I order molasses? I'm kind of curious. Molasses. 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 So, I can order 5 kilos of pure organic blackstrap molasses. That's actually hella cheap. What the fuck? Why is it cheap? Why is it cheap? I am kind of worried. Is pure organic blackstrap molasses supposed to be super cheap? 5 kilos, go big or go home, I guess. Is it supposed to be this cheap? I mean, there's 1 kilo, I suppose. Oh god, yeah. So it's the 1 gallon or 5 kilos of pure molasses. It's cheap because it's a byproduct? Oh, I see. That's true. That's true. Alright, I'm gonna put it in my cart. Oh, no, wait, no. There's a 1 kilo. There's a 1 liter one. I'll get the 1 liter one. I'll add it in my cart. Maybe next time I do some online shopping, I'll check it out along with my other stuff. Alright, so... Wait, why are you buying molasses? 1 kilo is a lot as well. Why am I buying? Because I am easily persuaded into buying stuff, Eve. That's how I function. Because, you know, it'll be an interesting sweetener. And yes, curiosity. Nita has the right of it. I'm kind of curious. Like, can I use it as, like, just like a sweetener and stuff? I have honey. I have some Manuka honey here, right, as well. And a lot of this is also just because of curiosity. You want to know what else I have in my cart? You know what else I also have in my cart? Because of curiosity, and somebody talked about it on stream once, and I think Pixel will probably actually be supportive of this potential purchase in the future. Canadian maple syrup. Yeah, I also have... Why is it all sweeteners? I just realized. What do you call that? Manuka honey? He has that grandpa you didn't know existed inheritance monies. No, I don't. I just happen to have a little bit of a bad habit. So yeah, I have grade A dark color honey, maple syrup in my cart. And it is almost 1 liter of maple syrup. Quick question, by the way. Quick question for the Canadians or those who are familiar with maple syrup. Is that stuff safe to refrigerate, or should I keep it outside of the fridge? Manuka honey, that is expensive. It was. That's why I only got like what is this? No, what? How many grams is this one? I can't quite read it because I ripped the fucking label off at the bottom. Now, why would I do that? It says, okay, serving size is 15 grams, 22 servings per pack. So if I do the math, calculator, give me 15 grams times 22 servings is 330 grams. Okay, so I have 330 grams of Manuka honey. It's a small thing, and that was all I could afford. Yes, I put mine in the fridge. I see. In shadows he creeps, causing chills to span Nightmares take form. Fear the molasses man. Yes, I put mine in the fridge. Perfect. All right. So if/when I get the maple syrup, I will be happy to put it in the fridge. And I will not be afraid. So the personality, you know what? I feel like let's not. You sounded like the Halloween monster from Gravity Falls. I have not seen a lot of Gravity Falls. I have only seen a few episodes of it. It was fun for what I've seen, but here's the thing. I'm a rather moody watcher. So what that means is, actually, you know what? Let's go. Let's actually go to the ZATSU. Okay, let's close this character. Actually, this character sheet's mostly done. Let's just equipment out, and then let's do some, just chatting before we clock out for the night. Yes? So equipment. Any simple weapon, meaning it's a stick. We'll have to give him a club. That's because you're an evil man, really. Explorer's pack. We have 10 darts. Let's get the instrument, which is the flute. And then a lock of hair, or that's kind of creepy. Why would we be keeping a lock of hair? I don't know why the game allows this, but whatever. Set the starting equipment up, and then let's go to our character sheet. But yeah, so Gravity Falls, I've only seen a couple episodes of it. And Gravity Falls is one of those shows that I need to eventually watch, but I find myself not always having the time or being in the mood to watch shows, right? So currently on my agenda, I have the following shows at the top of my head, right? I have Gravity Falls. I have our G-Witch second season because it just finished, so I have to watch it, right? I watched the first season, so I'll eventually watch the second season. I'll see if I can, I don't know, marathon it. Yeah. Or, if you guys are interested, do you guys want to have like a watch-along? We can watch G-Witch together, or Gravity Falls, over on Discord together. We can set it up, we'll watch together, and have a grand old time, yeah? That seems like something fun we can do, since I've also been looking to kind of spruce up the Discord lately. So if you are new, if you have not yet checked, Eve, please be so kind as to link the Discord down below in the doobly-doo. Actually, it's already in the description, but if you could be so kind, Eve, please you can put up a new link in the chat, just so people don't have to start digging. If you'd like, please make sure to visit. Some changes are coming to the Discord, and we are currently taking lots of new ideas. If you would like to suggest and what would make the Discord that much more of a fun place for everybody to hang out in. Okay, so, yeah, so here's our character sheet, right? My to-watch list is so long. I know. Like, I know the feeling. It is honestly frustrating at times, knowing that there's a lot of things you want to watch, but you can never make time for everything. Because you're always making choices. Do I watch this? Do I play a game? Do I work? Do I sleep? Do I eat? Although I do eat when I watch stuff, so maybe I can get eating done at the same time. But the other stuff are a little bit harder to do while watching a series. And that's honestly why I used to read so much more manga than I watch anime. Just because of the amount of time investment that watching a series requires. You know? To read a manga, I just need to have like a couple minutes of my time and I can maybe read a chapter or two, right? I'm like, oh, hey, I got 15 minutes. Let me pull up a couple manga chapters. I'll be done, right? And then great, I'm caught up. Maybe not even 15 minutes, right? 10 minutes I could probably get a chapter in, or even less. An anime episode though, that's like half an hour investment for one episode already. And how many, you know, and with the way that my life is right now, I just don't have as much time as I used to watch stuff. When I eat, I put a YouTube video on. Yeah, that depends. Like, sometimes I'm watching YouTube videos. Sometimes I want to watch, what do you call that? A YouTube video, like several YouTube videos of lockpicking lawyer. Sometimes that's what my brain is in the mood for. So I put on lockpicking lawyer. I watch several videos at a time of him just absolutely decimating all of these locks and making clowns of, you know, lock manufacturers. Sometimes I watch Nile Red, you know, and I watch all the science, chemistry stuff of, let's say, turning plastic into soda. Sometimes I feel like watching, what do you call that? An anime slice of life, romance drama. So it really depends. Sometimes I don't know what I'm in the mood for, but I usually will figure it out. My brain goes pee pee poo poo when watching Nile Red. Anyone here into removing blackheads? Oh, I don't think I can watch that. Not while eating, at the very least. I feel like to get into that kind of videos, Oliver, I need to be in a very, very specific mindset. So it's definitely not going to be in there while I'm having, let's say, lunch. Ugh, just like thinking about it now kind of gives me some, making my hair stand on end. But yeah, so again, like sometimes I also feel like depending on the time of day, if I am at a time where there's like a live stream going on of, let's say, certain streamers that I like, then I'll tune in. And I feel like it is my firm belief that your most what's the word I'm looking for? Your most avid viewers, right, are mostly going to be those who are in the right time zone to watch you. Because while, yes, I like to think that a lot of people will make time, right? A lot of people will make time to watch their streamers. But at the same time, life is also a bitch. And sometimes you only have that one window of time to watch live streams. And understandably, it's gonna be whoever is online that you're gonna be watching. Even if perhaps one of your Oshis is, you know, streaming, but if your Oshi streams at 4 a.m., what are you gonna do? Nile Red is too smart that he does stupid unnecessary stuff. I feel like that is a service that is needed in the world. There are some questions occasionally in my mind that I'm like, man, wouldn't it be fun to do if I could do this? And that channel answers some of those questions that I don't have to be the one to go out of my way to study chemistry and physics and other stuff just so I could get that, you know, question answered in my head. So I approve of his service. So if you're seeing this, thank you. If you somehow ended up on this part of the internet for whatever reason, thank you. You have provided my brain countless hours of just, that's cool. And then my brain just absorbs it and like, yeah, I am not going to use this knowledge anywhere. Ever. But it's fun. You know, sometimes utilitarianism isn't the way to go. Sometimes something is just fun. It's just fun. Okay, so I think, yeah, we're kind of done here. We have our character. Let's, what do you call that? Let's go back to chatting. Gloves to grape juice, never thought of that. Exactly, right? So there's some of the things that I feel are like the hallmarks of what make a channel or any kind of like really content creator like truly successful. Being able to come up with those ideas that you can pull off, that's kind of like, you know what, I did not know that I wanted that, but now I do. And honestly, it's great. You know, it's I feel like that YouTube specifically, or maybe the internet at large, kind of gives us the avenue to really just find very hyper-specific forms of entertainment. You know? Very, very hyper-specific forms of entertainment that is tailored to very specific people. Now, I wish that it were easier for people to kind of get access to that, to the specific things, but we're currently not yet at that level, in my opinion, for us to really, you know, find all the content we want. Mainly because advertisers are the bane of any truly open entertainment platform's existence. Because instead of just, you know, us being able to watch what we want, everything is going to be influenced by advertisers. They suck. You hear me? They suck. Can't wait for them to make atom bombs from bananas. Who knows? You never know what's going to come next from a Nile Red video. But yeah, though, like, in all honesty, mad respect. And it's super fun for me. But yeah. I think that's probably where we can cut it off here today. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. I know it was a little bait and switch. We didn't end up playing Zelda today, mostly because my brain wasn't in that headspace to do so. But hopefully, you know, tomorrow we won't have the same issues. And I'll try to keep my internet well, not internet, but like OBS, what do you call that, settings for now, the way they are. Because I feel like YouTube is being a little bit unstable for the meantime. Right? But hopefully we'll be able to raise the quality and the bit rate down the line. But until then, we'll keep it the way it is. Anyway, so that's technically the first stream for the week. We do still have more Zelda and Dark Souls this week. Oh, and a quick announcement. Next week is we're going to have one collab. We're going to have a collab next week. So it's going to be taking the Friday slot, which normally is reserved for Dark Souls, but because of collabing and timing, you know, you gotta make sure that you set aside time. You guys are compromising on the schedule. That Friday will be our collab day. We're gonna be playing. May we suggest we raid to Twitch to Helix? Of course. So we'll provide the link to Helix's stream after once we wrap up. So yeah, let's see. Any other announcements before we close out? Next week, yeah. So collab next week, we're gonna be playing with Fumio-kun. As you guys some of you might already be familiar. Fumio-kun is a long friend of, well, he's a long-standing friend of the channel of mine, I suppose. Yeah. So we'll be playing with Fumi next week. We'll be playing some Fortnite. Apparently, he's going to be teaching me Fortnite, so I'm curious to see how that's going to go. So Fumi, Fortnite next week. And yeah, the rest of it's going to be the usual. Zelda and Dark Souls. All right. Yes, exactly. We're gonna chug jug our way to Tomato Town next week. So yes, good luck with the fortnight, Nito. So thanks, guys. Thank you. And as usual, hope you guys tune in for the next couple days. We'll be playing more Zelda and Dark Souls. So let's all now head over to Twitch, visit Helix, and let's give them a big, grand old time. All right? So until then, you guys take care. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. Sleep well. Get your sleep. And, yeah. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys!